So Rachel, as we sort of come into the tail end of this, you touched on this as the releveling and the exercises, and Lana, you used a phrase that I'm going to absolutely steal from you, called heritage as opposed to legacy. I think that was brilliant. So when you put these programs and all these scenarios together, how do you handle the what ifs? If this, then what? If that, then this. How do you try to drive that? How do you make those decisions?
So one of the things that we did early on is we got the partners involved in designing this program, and we said, tell us about your business, tell us about all the different things that aren't standard that happen. And our partners are evolving too. So where they started with us at the beginning of the year, they may be in a completely different place by the end of the year. Their business models are changing, their business models are evolving. So our goal, somewhat aspirational, was to really build a program that could be flexible to adapt to them as they adapted their business, right? A lot of our partners, heritage, started with us 10 years ago when we were only on-prem, then we added our public cloud, now we have our SaaS offerings. So they're coming along the spectrum with us and changing their models as well. So that was one thing that was really important, was getting partner input, partner surveys. You can't talk to every partner. You can survey, some of them will answer, some of them won't. So it's really about gathering data and having data to back up your we have a lot of intuition, we have a lot of experience, but it's always helpful to have the data when you're trying to build something or get funding for something. So I think for us, going through those what if scenarios with the partners themselves and the PSMs who have seen different things happen, or channel account managers, if they've been in business for a while, they've seen it all, right? So understanding what happened at the current company or previous companies, and just trying to leverage all of that experience. And I got to be honest, we probably drove ourselves crazy trying to solve for all the scenarios, and in the end we said, you know what, 80% is good. if we can adjust and adapt to a lot of the scenarios, that's great. We don't have to address every single one. We'll have to treat those as exceptions or deal with them as they come up, because I think it's just, you drive yourself crazy trying to anticipate everything and to adapt to it.
No, I appreciate that. Lana, would you mind sort of that same question? How do you look at those what if scenarios?
Yeah, I completely echo what Rachel said, and getting partner feedback and input is critical. We do that through our partner advisory councils, through surveys, and as noted, not everybody will respond, but those that do really have our partners are very vocal and so valuable to the design of what we put together. So the what if scenarios, as noted, we cannot do everything. And for us, certainly one of the critical components has been being mindful of what we can measure, what we can communicate back out to the partner, because simply saying that we want attribute ABC isn't going to do much good if we can't actually demonstrate that back out to the partner and report on that, whether it be through a dashboard or some other mechanism. So I echo everything that Rachel said. I just love the approach that you used, and certainly we want to do it all. And unfortunately, sometimes that, and I don't even say unfortunately, the reality is, given how the market's changing, that 80% is good. And sure, and the other thing is having the ability to build flexibility into the program. And that's where, again, I'll go back to using the points, gives us that tool. We can be flexible because the point value could be driven up or driven down depending on what's going on in the market. And I love, Rachel, how you just said you're leaving room for partners to go down this journey and evolve year over year. It's just ever so critical. I love that.
No, thank you. We are coming up on time. I've got just 2 more items. Kenneth, would you like to add anything on the what if scenarios before we move on?
No, just something Lana touched on earlier, a platform approach, because when you do modeling, it can be a lot of heavy lifting and you might not even use it at the end of it. So, a simple example of, I change, my points or my revenue or my certification by my tiers because I want to see what that looks like. And having the ability to quickly run that and not kill yourself in Excel is really important. Some executive will come along and ask, what if I made this change to my upper threshold? How many partners fall in or fall out? So just something to kind of think about as well, is that can take people, days or weeks, or if you have a platform approach, it takes literally minutes or hours, so something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah,
right.
I attest to that. Last year, we did that exact thing, leveraging the platform that we have and the model in place. It literally was a several days decision as opposed to week after week of just combing through the data. Critical.
Thank you, Lana. Thank you. We have one last poll question, I believe, Brenda. So if we could put that up.
Yep, this is the final one. So for those with a partner leveling program, do you incorporate this data into your partner QBRs? So yes, always. This is a key to our partnership success. Sometimes, but only for our top partners. No, gathering the data is too difficult, or no, we don't bother with partner QBRs. So the results are still coming in there. So we'll just give it another second or two while we get ready for the next section. Okay, I'm going to close this off now, JD, and pass it back to you.